Hi everyone. So I was just thinking about a garden bed because I learned a little bit about them by watching YouTube videos. And one of the biggest issues from what I gathered was weeds in the garden bed. So what farmers do is they apply wood chips to eliminate most of them, and then they're easy to pull out, right? So I was also thinking about like a 1 inch layer of cement around the plant or the area where you will be putting your plant. But the main reason I created this video, I started recording, was not to talk about any of that because it's obvious, right? Okay, so there's a video on YouTube where people are using fabric and they're mixing it with concrete and then it hardens. So I'm thinking if you guys have extra like fabric with some cement, you guys can technically just do that because let's face it, when people use the black tarps to not allow light to penetrate down to prevent the weeds from like growing. And I forget the proper terminology for that, but it's photosynthesis. I forget, but anyway, it's synthesis or something like that. Kind of like an image that is taken and then it requires photosynthesis. So I think it's something where the depletion of sunlight, basically. That's all it really means. And so I was thinking, because people are starting to do this, and it's like kind of new, and there's a few YouTube videos and illustrations online regarding that. So I was thinking, if there's a tarp, you cut it out or whatever, and you mix it in cement, and then you put it over. Once it hardens, then you probably you probably won't have the weed problem in that area for a very long time. I've also thought of digging like 5 gallon buckets and then you guys out there putting the soil and then tilling it with a drill, like mixing cement in a 5 gallon bucket, and then if you need to add different types of ingredients in the soil because the soil has been used already or whatever, then some of it can be extracted or removed out of it. And then it's like half of the new soil can be added and mixed with the grinder. With the grinder, with the drill. All these tools and inventions, I swear. But with the drill, with the cement mixer thing. And in one of these coming up videos, I'm planning on creating a doghouse with the Home Depot boxes, the moving boxes. So there's like small ones, medium sized ones, and then there's large ones. So I was thinking about maybe creating something like that because the igloos for the dog houses, they go for like they're expensive. So if I want to like teach you guys and everyone how to make these things, but at the same time, it's a square. So what's going to prevent people from like not climbing on it and injuring themselves? So I also have to think about that because if someone falls through it, they can get injured badly. But I was thinking about making something like that. And basically, I was watching these YouTube videos with a cloth fabric and then they mix it with the concrete and they created like these planners. So I thought, why not make an artificial rock out of it? And why not make a dog house or a cat house or mostly a dog house or like even reptile little hideouts? I think I think that would be super cool. And at the same time, it will be affordable because one bag of porcelain cement is like $6, $7. And you guys out there can use like a used sheet or something. And once it hardens around, I'm thinking like a moving box. And then once it hardens, well, obviously at the bottom, I'm thinking about, you know, folding it, the blanket or the sheet, so it could be even. So technically, I want to create a good video, a good example, illustration. So I want to like put paper bags or something, like some form of plastic, unless I'm doing it like on level dirt, that would be fine as well. Some dirt, as long as it's level. If I put a box on there and then mix the concrete and then fully submerge that sheet and then grabbing it and putting it over the box and like cutting it at the bottom, the base, and like, you know, creating that opening. Like I'm thinking about like a sheet that's open, like curtains or like a window, that type of thing. and it will be a small doghouse, a medium doghouse, and then a large doghouse for small animals, small dogs, medium dogs, and large dogs. So, and like something like that would be simple to create, simple to manufacture. And I think we could even get creative and like add some solar lights for the dogs. I think this will be great for people that are breeders or people that live in like in Alaska. Well, what some people do is they put big barrows in Alaska. I seen a YouTube video and it was this huge like tumbler barrow, and they are easily like 100-gallon barrows, and they're using that, but it'll probably be more affordable since it's concrete, and once it's constructed it could always be touched up, like if the dogs bite it, or if there's any places where it needs to be filled, that can be easily patched up. In other words, it's kind of like playing around with plaster, or like the stuff that people use to make piñatas. In English, is called piñatas for parties. Anyway, so it's kind of like with that type of material. It's kind of like cardstock. And then I remember I made something when I was younger, and I think it was elementary or middle school, but kind of forget. I think it was elementary. It was pretty fun, obviously, but it's kind of like doing that type of thing, and so I think a lot of people will have fun with it, and who knows, like what else people can think of. Um, you guys could probably even like add a window, but not out of glass. I wouldn't recommend glass, but it can be. But it could be like I don't know, plexiglass, a water bottle, and what you guys can do is like maybe make like some holes in the plastic, and like before you guys cut the fabric, cutting it where you guys can put some of the fabric through the little holes in the plastic, and then put them up, like wrapping them up, and basically getting them stuck around the concrete fabric, and then adding more concrete right there. And once it hardens, it will interlock. The concrete will interlock it. That's one possibility. Um, Anyways, I think people can get very creative with these ideas, like DIY, do it yourself projects, DIY, do it yourself projects. Um, so, anyways, I talked about this already in a video. My main reason for discussing this one was to illustrate the garden bed idea with with some fabric and a little bit of concrete. But if someone steps on it, it might break. So you guys have to think about all that for yourselves or whatever. But if it's smoothed out and then the sheet is submerged in the concrete or porcelain cement or whatever, and then it's spread out, then if someone were to technically step on it, it shouldn't like give too much and prevent. It should be act like a preventative. But that's only like if it's even worth it going through all that trouble and that type of thing. So that's all I wanted to discuss, talk about. And it might be useful. If it is, then great. Talk about it, share it. If it's not, then don't talk about it. Don't share it. That simple. And I encourage everyone to, to like encourage positivity and good creative ideas, and when it's time, just knocking them off the table. Like, we're not doing this anymore or whatever. For good reasons though. Not for just because people want to be mean or rude. I'm not talking about that. um so yeah, like I can kind of see this for a raised bed idea and a more permanent and a long-term garden bed. So, you know, like a house that's built on a good foundation, you know, basically building it to last. So it could be strong, that type of thing. So, yeah, I just wanted to, like, release this idea to someone, anyone, to whoever needs it. And who knows, maybe this will inspire someone to create something, to build upon it, which is awesome. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. And also, it will also, now that I think about it, it will also act like a water retainer, kind of, like the wood chip idea, because you guys could even add wood chips on top of it so no one could see it. But it will definitely prevent the weeds from going up. And if you guys do add some of that black, the black tarp, and then you guys add in the concrete fabric over it, then technically it will last longer because you guys will be adding weight and it won't be easily picked up or ruined. So, anyways, just food for thought. But I can see, like, if I had the money, I would create a raised bed. I would put some like 5 gallon buckets, if not bigger buckets, and I would keep them like at least an inch above or a little bit, an inch and a half above the ground so I could fill that little area with concrete. And then I would do what I said with the soil, just changing it periodically or changing it, like recycling that and adding that to like adding some like like adding it to the compost pile and adding stuff to it, coffee grinds or whatever stuff from like the kitchen, eggshells, natural stuff, and then using the rich soil that's been composted into these buckets. I don't know, maybe it's too much work. I don't know. I really don't know. And plus, I don't have my own house, so I would have to think about growing in some type of containers if I was going to grow. any type of food. But that stuff, it really excites me because I'm more of a, what's the word, short term guy. Like, I want fast results, instant gratification. That's the word, or the what I was looking for. I'm more of like instant gratification. So growing like plants that will grow in 4 months, that's great in my eyes. And if someone can make it where it grows much faster than that, then I would get way more excited about growing and doing that type of stuff. But anyway, um, if I think about any more ideas, I will share them. But really, like, all this stuff that I said can be summed up like in one article, one magazine, one magazine page in simplest terms. You know, it's not complicated at all. And we're all learning from each other. So I just wanted to pass this information down that I was inspired by, and I hope that I can inspire someone else out there, and I hope it helps. God bless everyone. Have a great day.